Oh boy, and she comes bearing news.
Yeah, bad
Not
news.
Not all of it good either.
Yeah, I'm going to get thrown out of the studio. It's happened to me before. Whenever Mercury retrogrades, it's like shoot the messenger. But it is. It retrograded late last night. It retrogrades in Virgo, but de facto it's going back through Leo. So the people who will impact the most are what I'm going to talk about and where it's going to be for them. So,
all right, hit it and get it.
For Cancers, it is retrograding in their second house of money, and Cancers are trying so hard, the United States being a Cancer, to try and solve our monetary problems. And Mercury retrograding in your second house of money means, we're not going to solve those for a month or so, because it indicates unanticipated expenses you didn't even know you were going to have pop up, and it'll be all Cancers can do to hold on to whatever money they've got. For Leos, it is retrograding in their first house of their physical self. So Leos have to take great care not to be misunderstood, not to have their words misconstrued, to make sure they have a very clear understanding of both what they're saying and what they are agreeing to.
Okay.
For Virgos, it's in their 12th house of their own undoing, which means their own words are going to end up being used against them, to where they're just completely misunderstood. The best bet for a Virgo is to go on vacation, don't talk to anybody for 26 days or so. It's probably the best thing, and I'll probably take my own advice and do that. For Libras, it's in their 11th house of hopes and wishes. And for Libras, this is where someone, a power that be in their life, is dangling a carrot in front of them, saying, if you just go in this direction, this will be the reward when you're done. It's almost like the I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today kind of deal for Libras. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, don't, unless you're really sure that there's a guaranteed reward at the end of it, but I wouldn't believe it. For Scorpios, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing. Scorpios are going to have to defend a career decision, and it's almost as though the Scorpio is being nudged or prodded by somebody younger who is kind of nipping at their heels, and it's very, very likely to irritate the Scorpio, but if the Scorpio is smart, it will motivate them more. But they're probably not going to do it, and they're just going to be really mad. For Sagittarians, it's really good for them.
Good. I like that.
They have travel in store, long distance travel, important matters at a distance. Legal things that you thought were going forward tend to stop and go backwards a little bit. But if you're ever going to slide by something illegal, boy, Mercury retrograde's the time to do it. If you're going to do anything with legal papers, now's a good time to slide stuff by. For Capricorns, the money gods had been smiling on them, and they were really keen on it, and money gods don't smile so much over the next 26 days or so. Capricorns have a terrible time with unanticipated expenses, things that they hadn't counted on, really putting a crimp in their financial picture. For Aquarians, the retrograde is in their 7th house of partners. Aquarians have to realize their partners are irritated, and their partners are not going to back down. And if their partners are not saying anything, it's because of what the partner's plotting. So Aquarians are going to have to go out of their way to appease their partners and hear what the partner is saying about inequities in the relationship. For Pisces, their work environment gets stirred up. They get to, it's almost like they get a promotion, but without the money and without the title. They get all the work, none of the money, none of the title. But if they stick with it, at the end of the retrograde, it ends up being a permanent thing, which would be good for them.
Okay.
For Aries, we just want to have fun. Aries, Mercury is in their 5th house, and it indicates miscommunications, misunderstandings with people younger than you. Aries everywhere are having problems with their children, which is always a drag, because we're only as happy as our saddest child. But it's conflict with younger people in their environment. For Taurus, it's tearing things up at home. They want to remodel, refurbish, redecorate, knock down walls, get to the things that are really important to them at home. And you'll love this. If they have any squabbling children, the fight needs to end. And it needs to end over the net, because that's causing trouble at home for all Tauruses. That needs to end. And then for Geminis, the last time we're going to talk about, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. So Geminis are going to be really hard-pressed to stay ahead of the power curve, because things are changing at a rapid pace, and they're ones that are going to have to, they will probably suffer the most with schedules changing if they're not aware of it, like the meeting gets changed. So for Geminis, their communicative skills are going to come in handy during this retrograde as they try to make sure that what time they thought the appointment was, it actually was at, and have a clear understanding with contracts. So that's tomorrow's news today. for the 12 signs of the zodiac. And that
Uh-huh.
hurricane, not here.
Not here. No,
Not
that's
here.
all
Up the
right.
East Coast, not coming here, no worries. But Mars just went into Cancer, so the next 6 weeks ought to be pretty darn active for hurricanes.
Oh boy. And the retrograde lasts how long?
Until August 26th.
Okay.
So I'm going on vacation. Don't sign anything, begin anything, believe what you hear. Write in stone until after the 26th.
See you next Wednesday.
See you then.